Hello, everyone. This is Karen Dubin. I am the Chief Operating Officer of Sweet Institute, and we have been reading Carl Rogers on Becoming a Person. And I am going to continue on page 126, where it is the puzzle of process. And we'll continue reading until maybe 129, where it ends part of this section. So we're going to read a rejected method and the mode of approach. And then next time we meet, we'll start in the middle of page 129, where it says the difficulties and excitement of the search. So let's get started. The puzzle of process. I would like to take you with me on a journey of exploration. The object of the trip, the goal of the search, is to try to learn something of the process of psychotherapy, or the process by which personality change takes place. I would warn you that the goal has not yet been achieved, and that it seems as though the expedition has advanced only a few short miles into the jungle. Yet perhaps, if I can take you with me, you will be tempted to discover new and profitable avenues of further advance. My own reason for engaging in such a search seems simple to me. Just as many psychologists have been interested in the invariant aspects of personality, the unchanging aspects of intelligence, temperament, personality structure, so have I long been interested in the invariant aspects of change in personality. Do personality and behavior change? What commonalities exist in such changes? What commonalities exist in the conditions which precede change? Most important of all, what is the process by which such change occurs? Until recently, we have, for the most part, tried to learn something of this process by studying outcomes. We have had many facts, for example, regarding the changes which take place in self-perception or in the perception of others. We have not only measured these changes over the whole course of therapy, but at intervals during therapy. Yet even this last gives us little clue as to the process involved. Studies of segmented outcomes are still measures of outcome, giving little knowledge of the way in which the change takes place. Puzzling over this problem of getting at the process has led me to realize how little objective research deals with the process in any field. Objective research slices through the frozen moment to provide us with an exact picture of the interrelationships which exist at the moment. But our understanding of the ongoing movement, whether it be the process of fermentation or the circulation of the blood, or the process of automatic fission, is generally provided by a theoretical formulation, often supplemented where feasible, with a clinical observation of the process. I have thus come to realize that perhaps I am hoping for too much to expect that research procedures can shed light directly upon the process of personality change. Perhaps only theory can do that. A rejected method. When I determined more than a year ago to make a fresh attempt to understand the way in which such change takes place, I first considered various ways in which the experience of therapy might be described in terms of some other theoretical framework. There was much that was appealing in the field of communication theory with its concepts of feedback, input and output signals, and the like. There was the possibility of describing the process of therapy in terms of learning theory or in terms of general systems theory. As I studied these avenues of understanding, I became convinced that it would be possible to translate the process of psychotherapy into any one of these theoretical frameworks. It would, I believe, I have certain advantages to do so. But I also became convinced that in a field so new, this is not what was most needed. I came to a conclusion which others have reached before, that in a new field, perhaps what is needed first is to steep oneself in the events, to approach the phenomena with a few preconceptions as possible, with as few preconceptions as possible, to take a naturalist's observational, descriptive approach to these events and to draw forth those low-level inferences which seem most native to the material itself. The mode of approach. So, for the past year, I have used the method which so many of us use for generating hypotheses, a method which psychologists in this country seem so reluctant to expose or comment on. I used myself as a tool. As a tool, I have qualities both good and bad. For many years, I have experienced therapy as a therapist. I have experienced it on the other side of the desk as a client. I have thought about therapy, carried on research in the field, been intimately acquainted with the research of others, but I have also formed biases, have come to have a particular slant on the therapy, have tried to develop theoretical abstractions regarding therapy. These views and theories would tend to make me less sensitive to the events themselves. Could I let the totality of my experience be as effective a tool as it might potentially be? Or would my biases prevent me from seeing what was there? I could only go ahead and make the attempt. So during this past year, I have spent many hours listening to recorded therapeutic interviews, trying to listen as naively as possible. I have endeavored to soak up all the clues I would capture as to the process, as to what elements are significant in change. Then I have tried to abstract from the sensing the simplest abstractions, which would describe them. Here, I have been much stimulated and helped by the thinking of many of my colleagues. But I would like to mention my special indebtedness to Eugene Gedlin, William Kurtner, and Fred Zimring, whose demonstrated ability to think in new ways about these matters has been particularly helpful, and for whom I have borrowed heavily. The next step has been to take these observations and low-level abstractions and formulate them in such a way that testable hypotheses can readily be drawn from them. This is the point I have reached. I make no apology for the fact that I am reporting no empirical investigations of these formulations. If past experience is any guide, then I may rest assured that if the formulations I am about to present check in any way with the subjective experience of other therapists, then a great deal of research will be stimulated. And in a few years, there will be ample evidence of the degree of truth and falsity in the statements which follow. An end of reading for today. And next time we meet, we will go start with the difficulties and excitement of the search on page 129 and continue there maybe through a basic condition and the emerging continuum. And then the following day, we will start with the 7 stages of process. So have a wonderful rest of your days, and I look forward to being with you again.